with sexual assault and child pornography charges after a year-long investigation. The Calgary Police Service Domestic Conflict Unit began an investigation in January 2012 related to allegations that a woman in her 50s was being criminally harassed by her ex-boyfriend. There were also allegations that the victim had previously been sexually assaulted by the suspect while in the relationship. As the investigation progressed, there was information the suspect had been accessing images of child pornography. On Friday, January 11th, 2013, police arrested a man without incident. A warrant was executed at his home in the community of Willow Park. Stephen Huggett, 58, of Calgary, has been charged with 1 count each of sexual assault with a firearm, extortion, criminal harassment, and possession of child pornography. The investigation was conducted by the CPS Domestic Conflict Unit with the support of other units and agencies, including the Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team's Internet Child Exploitation Unit.
Give us a time frame of when he was accessing the pornography?
That's a detail that's ongoing in our investigation. I can tell you that as an organization, we started this investigation in early 2012.
Can you give a sense of what quantity of material has been seized?
I can't, and the reason is we just did the search warrant on the residence late on Friday, so with the weekend and early Monday, we're still sifting through the evidence we've collected.
Obviously, lots been made about his past with you guys, and based as an officer and as being a suspect in different crimes. So can you just speak to your past dealings with him?
You know, given our privacy laws, I can't speak to our past dealings with him, but I can say this. I mean, we're always concerned when a member of the public, which Mr. Huggett is now, 6 years removed from our organization, commits offenses as serious as these, and we take each of them seriously. We did investigate with all the resources we had available.
Do you know if he actually served his full 9 months in jail, or?
I'm not certain the answer to how much time he did serve in jail. I do know that when we started our investigations, he no longer had any prohibitions in place as a release. So.
And I guess back to his former years with the force, do you guys do like background checks in your HR department in this regard, or are you guys going to be making changes? If not, I don't know how to ask that politely and nicely, but
You know what? Police officers are hired from a cross-section of society. And again, this is an opportunity to point out that right now Mr. Huggett is a member of the public. He hasn't been a member of our organization for 6 years.
Still got to be pretty tough, though, having officer, somebody that you know fairly well, having to put him under investigation.
Yes, I personally didn't know Mr. Huggett. But again, we handle this investigation promptly and professionally, like we do with every serious allegation of this magnitude. And his past is irrelevant when it comes to how we investigate these matters.
Can you tell us when the alleged sexual assault happened?
It's tough for me to give specifics on the sexual assault because it is an ongoing investigation, but what I will say is Mr. Huggett and the alleged victim were in a 1-year relationship, domestic. They were boyfriend-girlfriend, and all these allegations stem from that time period.
Was she physically harmed?
Again, that's another tough one that I should stay away from, just given that it is an ongoing investigation. They're very serious. Sexual assault with a firearm can potentially involve harm, but at this point, the victim is doing as well as she could be given what she's been through.
can you say how you guys came to learn about the child pornography? Did she alert you guys, or did you?
That came out during the course of our investigation. It didn't come in initially as a child pornography investigation. It came in as a criminal harassment investigation, which is why it was directed to the domestic conflict unit.
Is he in custody at this point?
Yes, he is.
Wouldn't happen to have a next court date tomorrow, would you?
He's before the courts today. I have not yet heard the result of that. charges, especially when the work is professionally done, like in this case. There's a sense of accomplishment. However, there's a lot of work left to do. And by no stretch of the imagination is this finished on our end. So our officers are continuing to work hard to make sure that we're covering off all the bases.
How long was he a police officer?
I'm not sure exactly how long he was a police officer for. I do know that he hasn't been with us for the past 6 years.
Do you know what departments he worked in?
Not specifically, no, I don't. I'm sorry.
You know what type of firearm he was in possession of?
You know, that's one of the, I'm going to stay away from that right now while we're still getting our investigation completed. I just can't answer this one.
And did the sexual assault occur in Calgary?
I can't, that's another one I'd like to stay away from, but I'll tell you this, the assault did take place in one of their shared residences during the course of their 1-year relationship.
Is this seen as like a reoffending incidence? Like, is that gonna, is there a bigger penalty, I guess, for reoffending in a way? Is this a reoffending?
I can't speak to his previous matters. And how we're looking at this was brand new allegations post any of those previous matters, and even post any release conditions that may have been in place.
But you said there was no conditions when he was arrested.
When we start looking at this, as the Calgary Police Service start looking at this, there's no conditions that were in place.
Just so I'm clear, is this one incident of sexual assault, or was this kind of a sexual assault that had been done numerous times, but having one charge?
One charge. So between, this is a charge that's inclusive between dates. So there was more than one, and it happened between dates during the course of this 1-year relationship. Great.
Can you spell your last name?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I can. That's one question I can do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Will there be a psychological assessment done, or has there been?
I'm not sure if the Crown's going to ask for that. I do know that we have an assigned Crown who is attending